Mind your business. Mind your business. Mind your business. Mind your business.
For the people who are learning to mind their business.
This is Mind Your Business podcast for 680 The Fan. Sports, music, and money is what we talk about. And sitting with Kevin Kinney from Drivin and Cryin, one of the most legendary bands in Atlanta history. And we appreciate you spending some time with us, man. Thank you.
Well, thanks for coming and hanging out in my RV.
Yeah, right, dude. This is like cooler than any bus I've ever been on. What you talking about?
It's pretty cool.
You got a fireplace over there.
I feel like I'm in Kennesaw back in the old days.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Thank you, Creative RV, for the RV.
That's exactly right.
Thank you, Creative RV.
That's right.
RV. So this show's about money?
Yeah, well,
is that what you said?
Sports, music, and money. Just kind of how it all works together.
All right.
So I used to be at the Business Chronicle, and the way I shammed everything of interviewing people like you is like I had to ask one business question.
Okay, just
so that's what we did now. Now it's sports, music, and then we threw in the money.
Okay, we already throw the money in?
Yeah, well, we don't have a lot of it, but what we did have, we threw in.
Okay, groovy.
Yeah, there we go. But we talked to Tim earlier about just the legacy of this band and how important it is and how influential it has been and what it means to so many people. I mean, throughout the Southeast. And so much so that, some of the biggest acts in country music right now, covered Straight to Hell, Darius Rucker and Luke Bryan and Jason Aldean and Charles Kelly from Lady Antebellum. And Tim said that they just text you out of the blue and said, hey man, we're in the studio cutting this record.
Yeah, Darius sent me a text to you. He just sent me a text and he said, me and Charles Kelly just cut Straight to Hell for my new record. Is that okay? And I said, sure.
Yeah, right.
And then he said Luke Bryan and Jason Aldean are on it too. I said, even better. So I was honored.
But that shows you, not that I have to tell you, it certainly shows people who love this band how important this band is.
Well, thank you. I guess so. Yeah. That we had Straight to Hell happened to be, really it kind of what it's no longer ours. It's kind of a part of.
It's everybody's.
It's like Oh Susanna.
Yeah, right.
I've been there. It's Swanee River. Oh
Yeah,
Susanna. It's part of the Southern legacy.
No, it
is.
This
point, So,
but you say it was in jest, but that's the truth.
Yeah, I mean a lot of over the years I've met a lot of people who said they've covered it in their bands. The guy from Marilyn Manson covered it in his band. And
really?
When he was in the cover band in Florida.
Get out.
Anybody that's been in a cover band south of the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah.
Was it a metal band?
I don't know.
That would be sick.
I'm not sure. Quite
metal.
Sure.
On that
Metal
would be
version,
super
I'm not
rad.
sure. But I did go to I did do a lot of selfies and I had stuff at the Day of the Dead convention or whatever it was down in the Sheridan the other day.
Yeah.
My friend Ashley Lawrence was there for the horror movie convention.
Is that Dragon Con? Is it Dragon Con?
No, it's a very small version. It's Days of the Dead, I think.
Yeah, I heard about it.
It's just in the basement of the Sheridan.
Well, it's better than not being there at all.
Linda Blair was there.
Oh, that's
that
cool.
Was cool.
Yeah, from Exorcist, right?
And
I thought that was Miss
there.
Blair Witch.
No.
Not Miss Blair Witch?
No,
That's a different one.
Yeah,
Okay.
completely different.
Linda Blair Witch. That'd
Yeah,
be a good name for a band.
Yeah, it would be a good name.
There you go.
But and I said this.
I don't know if I
earlier.
answered your question, but
You
I'm
totally
very,
did.
I think it's a very simple song. It's easy to play, and it's then Jamie Johnson. He
my
does
gosh.
it with me.
Whom I love.
He does an amazing version, and he always does it. He's done it with me 3 times now.
Dude, is he not the
And
best?
he's amazing. But my favorite part was that this tournament that Tim does every year. This golf tournament down in Charleston. He does with Mark Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
You do it too.
And you do it too.
I do it too. But Tim is in the band. He he has to learn 30 songs. I don't learn. I just have to sing straight out.
That's right.
But it was really great sitting at the table before we played. I was sitting in the dark with Jamie, and Jamie goes, "Now, I grew up Western Tracks. I get that. Hold me down to hold me back.
Right.
What is that?"
Right. Yeah.
I go, "Well, hold me down was she's trying to keep me from going up too quick."
Right.
So okay. And running down, just kind of picked apart. He knew all the lines.
He knew the lyrics.
He knew all the lyrics, and was asking me, dissecting me, what was the meaning of them.
I love that.
I was so honored. I almost, wow. I can't believe that. I feel like I'm in a dream.
Okay, but that goes to show you again, though we can repeat it over and over, that's how much influence that your music and the band's music has over people.
Yeah, we were very lucky to have 96 Rock kind of embrace that song for some reason. You know, it was a very bold thing for them to do, you know. And then it was a very bold thing for Darius to do, I think, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful love song about Romeo and Juliet, basically. If they grew up at the Waffle House.
I love it. I love it.
Kennesaw,
I love
right?
it. Versus,
that's what it's about.
Versus Shakespeare in London somewhere, right?
Right, that's what it's about. It's about,
it.
like, you know, Romeo and Juliet go up to Kennesaw, and
Right.
they work at the Waffle House, and he works at the Waffle House in Smyrna.
Right.
She works at the Waffle House in Kennesaw, and they start dating, and they fall in love, and
I love it.
and you know, and their parents don't want them to date, you know, and all that. But you know, it's the chorus is "I'm going straight to hell." So obviously, in the Bible Belt,
Yeah. It can rock up.
Might not be. Might be
My mom's
some
old
old school.
school. My mom's old school Southern. She
Right.
thought it was cool.
Yeah, I think you know, maybe Starkville, Mississippi, they might have a problem with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not sure, but I thought it was really bold for Darius and Charles to do it.
No,
I
it's
thought
awesome.
it was really great.
Yeah, it was. And I'll add to that, and my wife of 17 years is from New York. And she moved down, and you know, you pick up music from each other, right? And the music she picked up for me was not country, because I work country radio and have for the last 18 years. She picked up Drivin and Cryin. That's what she picked up. She picked up Georgia football and Drivin and Cryin.
There you go.
Dude, it was a marriage made in heaven.
Right
That's
on,
why it's
right on.
lasted so long.
So we got to interview Tim before this, and you just came from the studio working on a new album. Y'all been at it for what, 34 years now. And
What? But yeah, we you know, this album is another. You know, it's kind of like you know, I've been ever since the Bohemian Rhapsody, I delved back into my Queen thing, and Cheap Trick.
Yeah.
And like those first two records that Queen did and Cheap Trick did, you know, very eclectic mix of songs. Like there's hits on there, like there's Killer Queen, but there's also like some jazzy cabaret on there. There's like, it's a really, you know, I like taking you on a trip, you know. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what we do. We take you, so this record is just like that. It's 8. How many songs are on it, Lauer? 10 songs.
11.
10 songs. 10 songs and 8 styles.
There you go. Dude, I love it.
so we've talked about influence a little bit. I got to bring it down. It's the atmosphere's gonna change a little bit, but I met you through Colonel Bruce. And,
Oh, yeah.
And you know, I think it's the first time you've had to really write since he's been gone. Obviously, creating your own universe, no one was better than Zombieland at that.
Yeah.
So I want to know, one, we've talked about it a little bit. How has Colonel influenced your career, and has anything changed since he's been gone with the way you kind of look at music?
Well, me and Colonel never really played on stage together. He would invite me to play with him, and then he would give me his guitar and walk away. You know, we played together very rarely, but we had dinner every week.
You love
and
it.
we talked about music. We both were band leaders, so you know, I used to call them you know, we were both grifters. You know, we're both like, you know, we both take great musicians and we make a band, and we're so lucky to have them. And then, you know, Lauer's our newest. You know,
Who's the man?
amazing.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
Estonia in the house.
He's amazing, and we had Sathervate, and we had Aaron, and we had Warner, and you know, we're just lucky to have them. I mean, that's what me and Colonel have in common. He's great musicians that come. You keep the music simple, true and simple, and then you can kind of morph it into, you know, what it is that you got. You know, I was looking for this. I don't know if you want to record this part, but I have
Anything with Colonel Bruce we want to record.
I have to find it here.
Take it down.
I sent it to schools.
Have you seen his Facebook or Instagram? Probably not.
I did it.
His Instagram profile is Love Light. It's a Love Light lyric.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I thought was super. I came across it the other day.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are listening, Colonel Bruce is just the epitome of Atlanta music. He was extremely ingrained into the community. He really liked to mentor singer-songwriters and other musicians, and he was in it for the purest reasons that probably anyone's ever joined music for.
Yeah, and the history of Colonel Bruce with Drivin and Cryin is ground zero, number one. Our lawyer's name was Charlie Phillips. Charlie Phillips' brother was Glenn Phillips. Glenn Phillips and Colonel Bruce had a band called Hampton Grease Band.
Alex Cooley's first.
So when I first got together with Charlie, he was going to be a lawyer for 688 for our deal with 688 Records. I went to Charlie's house, and Charlie was there, and I brought my acoustic over, and I sang him some songs, and it was Charlie and Colonel.
Did you know who the Colonel was?
No, well, I knew the legacy.
But you didn't know that was his face?
I did. Well, I'd met him then. No, not really. Because I was 1985. I was still working at the futon shop, so I wasn't even part of the
Scene yet.
Tim Nielsen from Drivin and Cryin joining us on Mind Your Business. Keep it on music, and the fact that you guys are still playing, you're still putting out music, you're still writing new music, when all of the other legendary Atlanta bands that have been around, like let's say REM or the Black Crowes, those guys don't do it anymore, and you guys do, man. You're still kind of holding the flag for Atlanta Southern rock, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, you got Collective Soul and Widespread Panic, but I mean, there's something about making music at this time in our careers and this time in our lives that the most important thing is the music, and it wasn't always that way. At least for me, it was more of a being a performer and being a celebrity and being in a rock band, being a rock star. All
Been
that
cool,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, so. Now it's like really about the music. It's like I really, really try to play as good as I can, or try to sing and hit all the notes, and that's important to me. And like I was saying before, just the music and to feel the people's reaction when they hear certain songs that remind them of back in the day when they met their significant other or whatever, or some story. Everybody's got a story.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, oh God, here we go again. But it's like I just have to embrace it and say, you know what, especially when I get testimonials from like veterans and stuff.
Yeah.
Who said they were overseas or they met another veteran.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's one of our biggest causes is a charity called Guitars for Vets, which is basically music lessons for vets to help out with PTSD.
Yeah.
Which is a real thing.
No kidding.
Yeah,
no kidding. Both of us are vets. Phil was Army, I was Navy.
Yeah.
So
that's
near and dear
to
us.
dear to our heart. And when I get testimonials from guys like that, it's like, yeah, I just met this guy tonight, and we drove down the same road within 2 weeks of each other because we're in different units and this and that, and we're talking. It's just like I just tear up, man.
Yeah.
It's just like
We're on the bus with Tim Nielsen from Drivin and Cryin, and these guys are playing a big show for the Fan and Atlanta Sports X
Super Bowl.
I mean, yeah, it's just for the Super Bowl, man. Thank you so much for taking some time for us.
Hey, man, it's great to hang out with you guys.
Yeah, so everybody has a Drivin and Cryin story. Everybody that grew up here or grew up in the Southeast knows Drivin and Cryin music, and you guys, because I've worked country radio for so long, you guys have now even been covered by Darius Rucker, Luke Bryan, Jason Aldean, and Charles Kelly from
That's crazy.
Lady Antebellum, covered Straight to Hell. How about that? How'd that come about?
I don't know how it came about. I think it was like Darius has always loved that song, and I remember when we used to play in Columbia, South Carolina, and Darius used to be on the side of the stage begging to come up and sing with us when he was just still in school, and Hootie was, I don't even think they were just starting out or not even started yet, but Darius texted Kevin. He's like, we're in the studio cutting Straight to Hell, and Kevin looks at him like, yeah, right, whatever. And time went by, and we found out it was true, and then we finally heard it, and then it finally came out, and then they went on the CMT Awards, and with all the neon and explosions and lights, and it was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. It's a lot. It's a really fun thing, and a really kind of a nice tip of the hat and a nice honor for these big, superstars to like recognize, our song and Kevin Kinney's song that he wrote. So.
Yeah, no, it was amazing, and it was so funny because as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh my gosh, what an honor that is to have, the people who are at the height of their fame in country music, do a throwback like that, and it just speaks to kind of the legacy of the band, and that everybody has a Drivin and Cryin story.
Yeah, and they're super nice guys. I mean, I've known Darius, forever, and I met Charles Kelly last year. I haven't met the other guys, but I've met guys in their band. But it's really nice people, and they're Georgia people and South Carolina people, and it was a really great thing.
Tim Nielsen from Drivin and Cryin here. on Mind Your Business, and now you live
Mind
in
Your Business.
Mind Your Business, exactly.
That's the name
Right.
y'all's deal.
Yeah, right, exactly. And now you live in Charleston too, and we'll get to that.
I live in Charleston.
Yeah, we'll get to that in just a moment.
Mount Pleasant.
So back to the music thing, you know, you're a founding member of the band. You've been here since what, 1985, I believe.
85.
And
yeah.
you've been described as kind of the yin to Kevin Jang, and vice versa. Y'all work well together with
Okay.
songwriting.
Okay.
So y'all got the first record in what, 10 years coming out. How has the writing kind of evolved over the years?
Well, it's still primarily Kevin's magical vision. You know, and now with modern technology, it's like we decided to make a record, and then we all converged in Nashville at the producer's apartment, set up like tiny amps and bongos and guitars, and Kevin kept pulling these little snippets out of his phone, like these just a couple lines here or there, and a couple little melodies, and we were just hanging out and just kind of like all riffing and contributing little bits and pieces and coming up with these songs. And a couple of sessions like that in Nashville, and we recorded the album in Nashville in an analog studio, which is on real 2-inch tape, a place called Welcome to 1979. And it was all old retro, you know, vintage gear. So it was really cool to record that way, you know. And you know, we got 11 songs coming out in June. The album's going to be called Live the Love Beautiful.
Live the Love Beautiful.
I like it.
Well, we thought about calling it Free Ain't Free, because that's one of the songs. But, you know, in this day and age, we just wanted it to be really positive. There's so much negativity and so much weirdness in the world. We just really want to give a positive message and music, and let people know that music is here to heal, to make people feel good, take people away from their normal lives and their problems. And you know, that's one of the give backs that we get as musicians from people coming to our shows, because we know that we're lifting them up and making them feel good about, you know, rocking out. So.
It's always good, man.
So I know, you know, Colonel Bruce Hampton had a big influence on Kevin, and you know, he passed a little over a year ago at this point. Has that had any influence on how he's approaching writing or anything at all with music?
I think that was a major. Kevin actually had dinner with Colonel that night.
They were real close. Yeah.
They were real close, and you know, Kevin lost his father a few years ago. So Kevin and Colonel Bruce would have dinner together, or lunch, you know, at least once a month. And they always kept in touch, and they were really good friends. And so, I mean, they were almost like family. So for that to go down, I think, you know, I don't know if there's any songs in the record that are, you know, maybe Kevin just hasn't said anything yet. Like, this song is about this or that.